guys, welcome to Cubium. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what makes puzzles difficult or easy. So the first factor that can make a puzzle difficult or easy is the learning curve required. What you need to learn on top of what you already know. For example, a Fisher cube, if you know how to solve a normal cube, you don't need to learn much more. You need to learn center orientation and you need to adapt to how the pieces look different, but other than that, it fundamentally uses the same ideas as solving a normal cube. Whereas if you only know how to solve a 3x3, solving a square one requires a lot of extra knowledge, and you'll need to learn more in order to learn the square one compared to the Fisher cube if you know the 3x3. Unless you're J-Perm, he seemed to be able to figure out the square one by himself. Don't know how he did that. Also, for example, the 17x17, you might think that the 17x17 is quite hard because, you know, it's a 17x17. Surely that's a really difficult Rubik's cube. But in fact, I think the length of a solve, because a 17x17 takes a long time to solve, it doesn't exactly affect how difficult it is to solve. There is some correlation, obviously, but I don't think they're necessarily linked, because a 17x17 is solved with the exact same method you would use to solve a 5x5. You don't need to know anything else, but just because it takes a long time, I don't think that necessarily makes 17x17 a difficult puzzle. And the second thing that can make puzzles difficult or easy is their hardware. For example, imagine if you had to use a Rubik's brand for 3x3, it would make the solving more difficult because you have to fight against that hardware to do the solve. So if we think about some very obscure puzzles like the Sun Cube, the Tutminx Curvicopter, crazy things like that, and especially 3D printed puzzles, they're not necessarily much harder, but they feel a lot harder because they have bad hardware. And I think there is also a sort of causation here, because if there's bad hardware, there's less incentive to get faster or to learn more about that puzzle. And that's because the hardware is bad that you don't necessarily want to do it. Just to go over that, I think the two things that make puzzles difficult or easy is what you need to learn compared to what you already know, and whether or not there is good hardware. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.